Hi, I'm Hat, alias Jim Wombolt. That's a handle my grandson gave me. Thanks for stopping by and for another story of my childhood days that my grandson likes to hear. So we're going to move right along, and I'll tell you one about an animal that I had. Don't forget, subscribe, notification bell, and give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Back again, probably around the same era. It was about 66 years ago. I was about 5. We had a bunch of chickens out back, and one chicken was a little bit different than the rest. He was blind. You're right, a blind chicken. And it was so cool. I took to liking him, and I always would pick him up and carry him. So he got accustomed to me coming around, and he would come at my feet, and I'd pick him up and carry him around because he couldn't see. Well, the interesting part of it, if I went out to give him the chickens some grain, poor Bumpeye couldn't see. So he'd stand there, and all the other chickens would go in on the grain and start pecking. Well, believe it or not, it was so cool. One chicken would go over in front of Bumpeye. I call him Bumpeye because he had a bump on his eye and he couldn't see. But anyway, the chicken would leave the grain, go over to Bumpeye and scratch in front of him. And you could see he would hear that, and he'd put his head down and he'd start eating. And the other chicken would go off and eat. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, that chicken knew that she couldn't see, and she'd go over there and help her. But that was really neat. Well, one day I was out, and it was a really cloudy day, miserable, and I went out and fed the chickens, and they ate a little bit, and I went out and doing something. I can't remember what it was. I was around the backyard, but it started to rain, and I went, oh no, and the chickens are going to get wet. So I picked up Bumpeye, and I had him in behind the garage. My father had an old box, like a wooden box about this big with a cover on it. And I says, geez, I'll put Bumpeye in there and he won't get wet. So I put him in the box, closed the lid, and, went about my business and so forth. And I was in the house. Well, anyway, I can't remember just how long it was. Probably, maybe 4 days later. One of my brothers said, hey, I was outside. Where's Bumpeye? And I went, I don't know. He's probably, I'll go look and see if I can find him. So I went out. I went out and opened up the box. He wasn't sleeping. Oh, poor Bumpeye. I killed him, you know what I mean? And I don't remember whether we buried just him in the little pet cemetery or the whole box or just what happened. But that was my first murder case that I was on and never got caught. But poor Bumpeye. But that's it. That was the beginning of wildlife around me and stuff. And I later learned that animals were pretty precious, and you got to take care of the good ones and eat the bad ones, I guess. But anyway, shoot. So, of course, I had to tell everybody in the house, mother and father and the boys, and they allowed it. Jamesy didn't do too good on that deal. So, but anyway, those are fun times. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll see you on the next one.